Hello, my name is Jonathan Neece, and I'm here today to talk to you about the different aspects of gun control. The Second Amendment states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I believe that this amendment gave the state and the individuals the right to protect themselves. One of the biggest supporters is the National Rifle Association, which supports the right to bear arms. On the other side, that opposes the right of individual gun ownership, like the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, argues that the amendment creates no such right to the individual of gun ownership, and that the framers who wrote the Constitution was talking about then, when the citizen militias had the right to protect themselves from other states that was being attacked. They say that the amendment is outdated. In 1976, the Supreme Court ruled the United States versus Kershank that neither the Constitution nor the Second Amendment grants the right to bear arms. Rather, the Second Amendment restricts the power of the federal government to control firearms. There's been many other cases during the late 1800s through the early 1900s, but overall, gun control was not a major issue. When President John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King was assassinated, the Congress passed the 1968 Gun Control Act, which banned mail-order gun sales and instituted more strict licensing requirements for the dealers. In 1980, Congress passed several more laws concerning armor-piercing bullets and automatic weapons. In 1993, President Clinton signed the Brady Bill, which requires a 5-day waiting period and ban on assault-style weapons and a number of semi-automatic firearms. Supporters of guns maintain the need of guns as a measure of protection and self-defense. Psychologists did surveys of jailed criminals and found out that 40% of criminals said they wouldn't commit a crime if they knew that the victim was armed. Criminals who attempted breaking in occupied homes succeeded 14% of the time when the homeowners was armed, compared to 33% of the time when they wasn't armed. Another thing is, if the government bans guns, what about the sport of hunting? What about the sport of hunting, shooting, and gun matches and shooting tournaments? There are many people who hunt for food and enjoys the outdoors. Shooting competitions for the sport is one of the many sports today which is growing rapidly. I believe that it's not the gun that kills someone, the person who pulls the trigger. Criminals had their choice to pull the trigger or not. Drugs, alcohol, and people under the influence of emotion often do things they normally wouldn't do. Another thing is about children and households with guns. Accidents with guns and children happen too often. The parents should keep the guns in a safe, and the bullets in a separate location in another safe. They should never keep a loaded gun in the house and always have trigger locks on the guns and hide the keys. This would prevent a lot of children being hurt or killed by guns. I just wanted to point out a few key points about gun control. I believe that if everyone would make the right decisions when handling a loaded gun, that everything would change. People need to respect the firearm like they respect themselves. A gun isn't a toy and can be deadly, but with training and knowledge, a gun can be fun and rewarding, and no one gets hurt.